She may have passed before most of us in this class were born, but everyone remembers the iconic photo of this blonde bombshell in a white dress blowing up around her. If you guessed Marilyn Monroe, then you were correct. Marilyn Monroe was one of the strongest women's rights activists of her time, with her famous roles in society. In order to truly understand this woman in history, I would like to start off with her childhood and what led to the famous actor and model we all know of today. Norma Jean Mortensen, later known as Marilyn Monroe, grew up in a difficult environment before her modeling and acting career took off. She was born on June 1st, 1926 in Los Angeles, California. Her grandparents on her mother's side, as well as her mother, were committed to mental institutions while she was young. With no father known, the 2-year-old girl was sent to a foster home. This began an unsteady relationship between Marilyn Monroe and her mother. Marilyn Monroe's mother would visit and even tried taking her in when she turned 7. This led to more mental battles and a diagnosis of paranoid schizophrenia for Marilyn's mother. While Monroe's mother was institutionalized, she went back to foster care before she tried pursuing her passions. At the age of 17, Monroe's career begins with the Blue Book Modeling Agency. While she started at Blue Book Modeling, her career began to blossom with her first movie role as a telephone operator in The Shocking Miss Pilgrim in 1947. More acting roles lined up for her after she got this brief role. While she hasn't become known as the iconic figure we know her as yet, her career continued to build. Just like any female actor during this time, she did face a period without a job until her most famous role in Niagara. In this movie, she played a wife scheming to murder her husband. This was the start of the sexual role she played in the public's eye. The sex symbol of Marilyn Monroe grew with her next big debut. In the most iconic 20th century photos, we see Marilyn Monroe standing on a subway gate and trying to hold her skirt down as a gust of wind blows it up. This scene started off as playful, became a horrible situation for Monroe. Her photographer made it more sexual as the crowd of men that gathered applauded for more. While this stage photo shoot was only meant to publicize a scene from the film The 7-Year Itch, this scenario led to the sexualization of Monroe in biographies and on media. While she may have been a beautiful woman, she was also an active fighter for women in a repressive male-dominated society. A major quote that showcased her feministic side was, and I quote, "A girl doesn't need anyone who doesn't need her," end quote. She embraced body positivity years before it became a social movement. She also battled for gender equality in the acting industry. She pointed out her unequal pay with co-stars and was not afraid to show her discontent. An important time that showcased this was in her refusal to star in the musical The Girl in Pink Tights. In doing so, the movie did not get the ratings they had hoped for without her. Marilyn stayed a popular figure in the people's eyes and showcased the inequality amongst herself and the male figures in the industry. She battled for artistic freedom, equal pay, and respectful working conditions. Marilyn may have played the role of a dumb blonde in many films, but she was anything but that. She was enrolled at the University of California in 1951 and studied art and literature in between shootings. While also playing a beautiful role as a feminist, a good example of this and her attempt at bringing justice was with a jazz singer named Ella Fitzgerald. Ella was denied performance for a white-only club due to the color of her skin. In order to help Ella, Marilyn Monroe personally contacted the owner. She told him that she would sit at the front diner table every night she performed. As Ella stated herself, and I quote, "I owe Marilyn Monroe a real debt. I never had to play a small jazz again." She was an unusual woman, a little ahead of her times, and she didn't know it. While Monroe did not live long, passing away at age 36, she became one of the most famous women of the time. She was an intelligent woman that played a part in the feministic movement that would commence later in history. To conclude, Marilyn Monroe may have been sexualized by the press and publicized as a sex symbol in a predominantly male industry, but still she fought for herself and other rights as a woman. She grew up facing hardships and even had some bumps in her career, during which she still strived to do better and succeed more until her unfortunate passing. So the next time you think of that iconic subway dress scene, remember that it wasn't just a sexualized symbol, but a determined woman that strived for equality during a male-dominated era.